Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Shane Torres.
Thank you. 2022 was, I went through a terrible breakup, and it was really rough, because like, you get into some relationships, and you know they're not a good idea. Some relationships feel like a symphony in a bomb shelter. You're like, well, it's gonna be exciting. And then someone's gonna say something like, you're not what I need, but you're what I want. But I got into this relationship, and I knew it was in trouble because she sent me a text, and all it said was, I sent you an email. I was like, oh, that's not good. We're switching formats, I'm fucked. So I get the email, and I know how to read it and everything. And the email, like, it reads like less like an email and more like an emotional declaration of war. A list of shit I didn't know was an issue. Just like a, dear Shane, I feel our two parties have reached a point of no return. And it was just like a list of grievances. It was just like, and you fucking stuff your socks into the couch cushions all the goddamn time. Yeah, it's like an Easter egg hunt for me. It was like, stop telling people you invented the camera phone. Or no one thinks it was your idea. But it was. I did. I had a flip phone, and I had a fucking cardboard box camera, and I was like, I set it on top of the other one. I was like, that'd be a good idea. And I kept driving. What I really think it was about is, like, I'm at this age now, and so a lot of our friends have gotten married and started to have children, like people I was sure I was better than. Have you had that happen yet? Where a fucking loser beats you to a life goal? That fucks up your whole month, man. Scrolling through Insta, you're like, fucking Doug bought a house? Guess they're not as hard to get as everyone says. I'll have a talk with that Rachel Maddow when I see her. My friend Pat, he got married 3 months ago. We have the same job, and I am better at it and more successful than him. And this piece of shit has a beautiful newborn daughter. He has a house on a lake with jet skis and boats and all the white trash shit I like. And I have seen this dickhead buy coke at 3 different bowling alleys. I have a roommate named Buckley. Do you understand how far behind I am in life? His family is beautiful, and anyone would be lucky to have them, and my roommate plays bass. It's the worst instrument to hear alone. What's it sound like? Sounds like you've been watching Seinfeld all goddamn night. What the fuck it sounds like? He has been nominated for 3 Grammys. I know, it's crazy, right? He's legitimate to you now? What you should be asking yourself is, why would someone who's been nominated for 3 Grammys need a roommate? And the answer is because he has a gambling sickness. If a horse has a funny name, he's gonna bet on it. Put it all on God, what God in the third at Churchill. But here's the thing. So, my former girlfriend, current legal opponent, she would very much like kids in a family, you know? And I have no designs on marriage, and I don't really have any on children either. So I was like, I gotta break up with her, you know? Which I think is the correct thing. Yes, you agree? Yeah, yes, I shouldn't just rob her of her childbearing years. And be like, I'm still kind of wishy-washy. How old are you? 38, woof. So I texted her, I was like, hey, we should talk. And she wrote back, this sounds bad. And I was like, it is. And then she called me, and I received a barrage of insults, so personal and so dead on balls accurate that they could only come from someone who used to love you. Does that make sense? Like this, like, yeah, she'd been sitting on this shit for a little bit. It wasn't like, you're a fucking idiot. It's like, you're gonna start over? The way you breathe when you fuck, it's weird. You do 2 breaths in, 1 breath out. Ha-ha-s, ha-ha-s. You sound like an office chair getting sat in. But I think the hardest part is really when you recognize that someone is actually correct about your faults, you know? Because, like, you can't change them, and they can't live with them. So in some sense, at least in this circumstance, they're actually correct, you know? Like, because my ex is right. Like, I'm weird. Look, I'm on the road about 240 days a year, which basically means I am alone 240 days a year. And I know this about being weird. The more you're alone, the worse it's gonna get. I've reached a point now where my alone behavior has moved into social arenas, like unbeknownst to me. You ever done that? Just forgot you were in public? This is like I did 3 weeks ago at a Chili's in Chattanooga, Tennessee, because I played the big market. When they have a dropout. But I was at a Chili's, and I walked into the men's room, and aloud to no one, I just go, piss, piss, piss. I gotta piss. There are 5 grown men standing there. It's like, well, none of us feel safe doing that now. Somehow you were not aggressive and everyone is threatened. It was like the worst game of Duck, Duck, Goose. Piss, piss, piss. You're a little pooper. Yeah. And like that, you know, that behavior will get worse, I'm sure. But like, here's the thing: have you ever like? What's your name, friend? Chris, nice to meet you. You were very attentive. You said it like I woke you up. And you did not know what you were asked. You're like, what's the date? Chris! Christopher. I just realized that Christopher, Topher Grace's name is probably Christopher. Which kind of makes him an asshole that he goes by that. I'm sure he's nice, I don't know. Chris. Have you ever shared something with a group of friends and then they respond with nothing but absolute silence? And you're just like, oh, should have kept that one to myself. Cuckoo's out of the clock now. The reason I bring it up, Chris, is I was back home in the city, and it was a Monday night, and I was hanging out with all these comics, and we were all talking about how lonely the road is. And one guy was like, what do you guys like to do on the road to feel more at home? And one guy was like, I love to hike. And I was like, that's fucking stupid. Will there be bugs? You know. I just hate it. It's like walking without coffee, you know? Like, it's bullshit. If I want to marvel at something, I'll drive to it. But another guy was like, I like to drink, and I was like, so fun, you know, and then it got to me, you know, and they were like, what do you like to do, Shane, when you're on the road? And I didn't soft sell this. I was like, you guys are gonna love this. It's like, you know how you go to the hotel? And they're like, yeah. You know how you walk in? There's always some fucking mouth breather behind the counter. Some idiot sniffing pennies. It smells like Lincoln, or whatever. Don't realize they got an ice cream sandwich melting down their arm. Hit you with that same winded breath. Just like, hi. Welcome to Hilton. And then I go, my name is Shane Torres. Can I have my room now? And then they always go, of course. And then I go, I would like a room with 2 beds. And then they always say, are you expecting a guest? And I go, no. It's none of your fucking business what I'm gonna do to that other bed. But since you're a curious little kitten, I'll roll out a ball of yarn. One bed is for regular sleeping, and the other bed is for completely nude eating. And then I get in it, and I'm like, everything around me's a napkin now. I'm a cute little prince in my queen-size bed. Look at me while I get fed. Tacos, pizza in my sheets. Every country, what a treat. Didn't want me to use it like a napkin, shouldn't have folded it that way. Here's the thing, like, I am not anti-child, which I think is a valuable statement now, because people say shit like that to people who want to have kids. Like, you want to have a kid? You know we're running out of corn. Or, like, you know, it's always the dumbest fuck who's ever taken a breath on God's green earth. It's like, there's no clean water. It's like, dude, I could give a fuck. But have 50 kids. We're gonna need something to throw with the tidal wave when it comes. But I will say this. I do think, as a man, I think the end of your life looks better with a family than without one. You know, like, I've never seen a man age old gracefully alone. You just gotta hope you don't turn into some creepy or weird old fuck. And we conflate those words to mean the same thing, creepy and weird. They're not. And fellas, You want to land on weird. Like a weird old guy is basically harmless. Like, oh, I always got to get the third can of almonds from the back. They sound the best. Speak to me, my salty queens. A creepy old guy would be like, I flirt with grocery store cashiers because they can't leave. Have you, like, because like, even guys who have great lives, lifelong bachelors like Al Pacino, you know, like he's like a lifelong bachelor for them. Have you seen what he looks like now? It's like someone left a purse on the subway. It's ransacked and its contents are everywhere. Weird old guy will say some shit like, no pizza for me, I don't like ethnic food. Or a creepy old guy do some shit that makes your skin crawl. Like take baths. Any grown men in here take baths? Ugh. You're gonna draw a bath and then stick your fingers in like, not quite yet. Not ready for this little tea bag. And finally, temperature's right. Time to add my bubbles. And then you give the bottle a nice deep squeeze, you know, kind that opens up your asshole a little bit. And then you're gonna strip down to your disgusting nude male. Every man's nude body looks like it was dropped on the floor. Oh. Have you seen these things? They're fucking disgusting. Covered in hair and dirty in the corners. Oh. What do they make these out of? The back of a knee? And then you're gonna lower yourself down into a perfect white cloud of bubbles, just effectively turning it into a pot of ball water. Throw your hairy, wet leg over the side of the tub while the big toe on your other foot fingers the inside of a faucet. Fucking beat it, Epstein. I don't need it. God. Gross. I worry. So I'm not supposed to share this under threat of legal action, but what are they gonna do? Take more of nothing? But I was cast on a TV show. Thank you. Feels like you really mean it with the pause. I was cast on a TV show for a certain streaming service that is red and black. Yeah, it's Netflix. It wasn't Canadian Hulu, you know? It was a good gig. Netflix calls me and they're like, hey, we want you to do the show. And I was like, I figured. You guys seem to like money. This is a way to get it. And, yeah. And they go, there's just one thing. And I was like, well, what is it? And they said, we have to shoot the show in Los Angeles. And I was like, well, that ain't my favorite. And they say, we'll fly you out and we'll put you up in a first-class hotel. And I was like, I'll be there. 2 beds. And here's the thing. My lease ended at the same time the show was beginning production. So I was like, I'll just put everything in storage and get a new place when I get back to Brooklyn, you know? Because, you know, who wants to pay $6,000 a month for an apartment they're not living in? I don't have that kind of money. I have a roommate named Buckley. But I put everything in storage and I kissed Buckley goodbye. We're very European. Like, mwah, mwah, avita say. But I fly, so I fly out, I put everything in storage and I fly out to LA to capture my dream. And that dream was slated to begin production on March 4th of 2020. March 4th, we did not. Thank you, yeah. But it did. So I fly out to LA and March 4th and the pandemic hits. So I'm sitting in this hotel room. Netflix calls me and they're like, hey, can't do the show. And I was like, totally get it. But how long can I stay in this hotel? And they're like, well, you should have been out at noon. And I was like, I'm taking some towels. And I called around and I found a place to stay. And I don't know if you guys remember this part of the pandemic, but like, no one really knew that much in the beginning, but everybody was talking like they did. So you would read shit all the time, and it would spike your anxiety. It'd be like, take Tylenol, but don't you dare take ibuprofen or you're fucking done for. You know, it was just crazy shit after, and like, you know, it would just be like, it can live on a nickel for 5 days. Like, 5 whole days? What'll I do without my nickels? Like, if you have a parrot, your apartment is now Wuhan. You're like, ah! I never even heard of that city till a week ago. And one of the things I read, or someone told me, I say that a lot when I'm like, I read this, and the people are like, yeah, no, well, someone said it. But one of the things I read or heard was that if you leave your house, when you come back, you should take your shoes outside, because you could track COVID into your home. You saw that? Yeah? Were your shoes stolen also? So right here, we're going to take a brief recap. At the beginning of this story, I was cast on a television show on the world's most popular streaming platform, and I was going to be somebody. 4 hours into lockdown, I no longer have a job, a home, or fucking shoes. You know when you watch like Walking Dead or Last of Us and there's a new character out of nowhere and they're like, hey, it's Doug, we love Doug. And you're like, I know one thing, Doug ain't making it the whole episode. I'm Doug. So later that night, I'm sitting at my friend's kitchen table, just dugging it up. She is in front of me in the kitchen, and she's whipping cream for a cake she is baking. So it's very Rockwellian, and it's nice. And we're sitting there just bullshitting, and all of a sudden we hear a window break. And that's it's a pretty alarming sound in general, but my anxiety was so high, I was just like, well, the cannibalism has started. They took my shoes to eat my toes first. Toes are the new shrimp. Because you have to peel them. And but there was no cannibalism that I know of. What did happen was we had a fucking home invasion. I swear to Christ, This crazy drunk homeless guy went to the back door, punched out a pane on the back door's window, reached in, undid the deadbolt, came in, classic homeless guy, you know, like ha-da-da-da-da-da. And I stood up and I was like, get the fuck out, I'll kill you, motherfucker. I stood up so fast, I was honestly surprised it was how I reacted. I was like, well, how about this? Crazy, I'm fat, not flat, who'd have thought? You go, girl. Here's the thing, like, look, I'm a big guy, whatever, but I'm not tough. Like, I grew up around a lot of machismo. Both my brothers were really tough. Like, one was an amateur boxer, the other's a professional drug dealer. So they say scary shit, like, on my birthday to me. So I was like, what would your brothers say to this motherfucker? Like, looks like you blew on the wrong dandelion. Or like, I'm the strong kind of fat, you know. It was also at the point of COVID where they were like, if you touch someone with COVID, then you will get COVID and kill everyone you have ever loved, ensuring you're the bad person you always knew you were in your heart. So I couldn't touch this guy. So basically, I just dry fucked him out of the kitchen. I was just like, yeah, 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 Masha. And the whole time he's ha-da-ta-ta-ta-ta. Yeah, yeah. And as I'm butt fucking this dude out the kitchen door, my friend who's baking the cake and whipping cream, remember, she reaches into the bowl, pulls out the hand mixer, and points it at him like it's a fucking piece. And I gotta be like, hey, if you let him lick the spoon, he's gonna hang out for a while. Yeah, yeah. And I get into the stoop, and I give him one last finishing pump. Girls, you've seen it. And he falls down the steps like, ha-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm feeling pretty good, you know, feeling masculine for once. And ready to say something, you know, badass, like, fucking, this bear's all out of honey, or... And I look down, and guess who's wearing my fucking shoes? The hobo stole my shoes, but he gave me something in return. COVID. I got hobo COVID on the first day. I had a television show. But, c'est la vie. Topher. Did you ever have COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah? When did you get it?
I've gotten it like 5 times.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why so little? Yeah. I had it. Did you lose your sense of taste and smell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. What I am about to tell you is the fattest thing I have ever done. And I have used buffalo wing bones to put more blue cheese in my mouth. No flesh, just bone. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's tell you what happened. So this is how I found out I had COVID. It was a few days after I kicked that guy out of the house, and I was in the shower, and I couldn't smell my shampoo, and you know, I was like, oh no, you should taste something. And if you can't taste anything, you probably have COVID. So I got out of it. I know some of you are like, did you bite soap? I did not. But I got out. I got out of the shower and I ordered a pizza. Why is that funny? Like, lots of people do that every day. I ordered a pizza, and it showed up, and I ate all 8 slices, and I could not taste a fucking thing. Do you understand? I could hear it more than I could taste it. And I took down each slice like a new stage of grief, like, slice 1, stage 1, denial. This can't be happening to me. Slice 2, stage 2, anger. It's the Chinese fault. Slice 3, stage 3, bargaining. Oh, what if I put ranch on it? Slice 4, stage 4, depression. Well, might as well do it in the bathroom, out with the old, in with the new. Slice 5, acceptance. I have accepted I will eat these remaining 3 slices. God damn it. Yeah, that water's good. I think like the thing I learned from COVID more than anything is that I don't care for anyone anymore. And I mean like on a personal level, I do not like the people I agree with, and I do not like the people I disagree with. And it's just, everyone sucks now, and it's fucking exhausting. You know, like, it's not even like, look, I live here in Brooklyn, and I'm a liberal cuck like the rest of you. And I like who I am. But I am from a part of Texas that, politically speaking, is redder than the devil's dick. And I miss conservatives every day because I miss a different point of view. Not that I agree with them, but I don't like being told the same thing all the goddamn time. It's exhausting. It's like I'll be here in Brooklyn talking to my most liberal friend, you know, like somebody who identifies as a ficus plant. I was wondering how that would land. And I disagree with them this much, like a pubic hair's worth. And I say something like, I don't know, man, like, I know a ton of people who go deer hunting. I don't think owning a hunting rifle is the craziest thing in the world. And inevitably someone will just be like, my father was a deer. Like, God damn it! It's like, did you shoot and eat my papa? Fucking wish I had. Wouldn't have to hear this shit all night. I didn't know that was a thing now. And the other side, like, here's the thing. The other side is, there was a time where idiots knew that they didn't know shit, and it was glorious. And now that is gone, because they say things like this now. It's like, well, now that the world has been through a pandemic, maybe everybody will stop complaining about plastic straws or which bathroom they get to use. And it's like, hey, dickhead, that's still a problem. That's like if I went outside and like, I got hit by a bus, no more diabetes. Like, do you understand? The introduction of a new problem does not negate the old one. Fucking primate. I hate them. I hate them all. I have not drank in 6 weeks to prepare for and like, which is the longest I have not drank since birth. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna be sober. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna white knuckle life. Who the fuck are you people? Like, you know, people are like, I don't touch the stuff, just got my Lord and Savior. And you're like, wish he'd rescue me from you. But I have friends who are like sober. Like, have you ever had someone do that to your friendship? What a fucking bummer that is. Just like, what I mean, I've never had a friend whose sobriety was less irritating than their addiction was troubling. Like, I got this friend, he's sober, his name's Todd, he caught a touch of Christ. Something different if you're Catholic. Fuck him. But he's sober now, and like, he was the fun at, like, I'd call him and be like, hey man, we're gonna go out and have a few cocktails tonight. What do you say? And he'd be like, yeah, fuck child support. He'd be like, all right, Toddy, it's one of those nights, huh? Like, I'm having a barbecue. He's like, I'm gonna shoot my gun in your pool. Let's get the kids out of there. But now he's sober, and he fucking sucks. And one of the things that is like really irritating about Todd's sobriety is that he now thinks he's better than everyone else because he doesn't drink. You know this fucking person? Yeah, he's like a real cheeky fuck. Like, we'll be out to dinner and he'll say something passive aggressive as a motherfucker. He'll just be like, are you really gonna have a 5th bottle of wine with dinner? I'm like, yeah, Todd, I'll have cocaine with my carrot cake. I'm not the one with the fucking problem at the table. All of a sudden, you're not parking on your neighbor's lawn at 4 a.m, you're better than everybody else. Todd, that's a dumbass name. Who the fuck looks at a newborn baby, not yet having sinned in this world, sees their child draw its first breath and rest its head on the bosom of its mother and thinks, Todd. When you say your name is Todd, I hear no books. But the thing that is like really irritating about his sobriety, I'm still stuck on this, is that he now remembers his dreams. I don't mean his goals. Like, is there anything more fucking irritating than having someone recall a dream to you? Jesus Christ, I'd rather learn math in church. It's fucking brutal. It's like, yes, please tell me about the thought that was so stupid you couldn't bring it into consciousness. Well, I was at Applebee's and Andre the Giant was my waiter. It's just exhausting. And like, one person ever had a dream and we should have heard about it. Yeah, I'm gonna make this catch. Dr. King, like, that's a dream worth hearing about. It's like, what's your dream again? It's like, I just think people should be treated equally. Cool. Todd. Well, I opened a fortune cookie and nothing but fire ants came out. Dr. King? Oh, I think one day that I would love to see my children treated equally on the content of their character and not the color of their skin. Todd? Well, I was banging this chick and her face was blurred out like Slender Man's. Dr. King? Well, I hope and pray that one day this nation will learn the true meaning of its creed, that all men are created equal. Todd? Well, we were banging and banging, and then when I came, her face came into focus, and it was my dad. You're a doctor. What do you think that means? Well, okay, sure. I'll take them if you got them. Oh, you know what sexting is? It's when you learn you're not ambidextrous. Can't do that or a left-handed layup. Press too hard on the wrong thing. Thumbs up my urethra. The reason I bring it up is I was on the road and I met a young woman, appropriate age. But I was on the road and I met this young lady and she was like, "You're really funny." And I was like, "I know." And she was like, "Why don't you text me sometime?" And I was like, "I'll text you all the time." And she's like, "Not that much." And I downshift a bit, and it's gone pretty well. So well, in fact, that she's coming to see me next week. Yeah. Thank you. But we have not fucked. It's weird that I do this for fucking. I'm like, oh, it's two butts touching. Call that a moon landing. But she's very sweet. She's not like a lot of the women I meet in New York who are always like, "Why do you breathe like that?" Or "That's my purse." You know, like. So the point I'm trying to get to is like, I want to make my intentions known, you know? So she texts me and she's like, "Well, what do you want to do when I come see you?" And I wasn't like, "Your mouth," or, you know, like, "Open up," or "Here comes Chum Chum," or what. She's like, "Ah." I don't know what Chum Chum is, but I think it does this. She was like, "What do you want to do when I come see you?" So not being a creep. Just kind of sticking my toe in the pool, you know? Just peppering my chicken. I say, maybe we'll just get a bottle of wine, get drunk, and make out. And then she texts back, "I am fingering myself right now." And I had to be like, "Me too." Like, as well, not the movement. Guys can do it too. But here's the thing, like, look, I'm dumb, but I'm not an idiot. I realize when a young woman sends you a message like that, it requires some trust and a bit of vulnerability. So, point being, that's a text you got to react to. Lickety split. That ain't some shit you can let hang in the air for 20 minutes. You can't be like, oh, sorry, I was pulling a pot roast out of the oven. Time got away from me. You still petting your cat? And I'll be honest with you, the shit she has been sending me, it's awesome. And the things I have been sending her are lies. She's like, you gonna fuck me up against a wall? I'm like, that's the only way I do it. In my mind, I'm like, what am I, a Russian gymnast? Who could possibly have the core strength for something like that? Just crazy shit like, you're gonna be so hard my ears pop. What are we even talking about? Gross! And super hot! It's weird when someone says something disgusting to you and you're like, yeah, that's my thing now. But we're in the middle of all this digital filth. And she texts me and she goes, hey, are you about to come? Also, she spelled come, C-O-M-E. I was like, you're weird. What a strange woman to be like, I'm a whore in the sheets, but a stickler for grammar. Yeah. Like, suck me, fuck me, use more commas. And she's like, you about to come? And I was like, not until you do like 4 or 5 times. In reality, I was basically asleep. I already had my body pillow out. I put it in between my knees. It helps my hips. I'm like a pregnant golden retriever down there. She's like, you about to come? And I was like, yeah, I'm about to come. And she goes, call me. I want to hear you come. And I was like, I don't think you do. And you're just going to pick up the phone and be like, hello. And I'll be, are you turned on now? There's a plump, sweaty boy alone in his room who just frosted himself like a birthday cake. Had to put my phone in a bag of rice. What do you think that's like at the Apple store? I have no idea how this happened, but I paid you guys $80 4 years ago. Get on it. I'll finish with this. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it. I really mean it. It means a lot. And you guys all seem like very good people. But what do you? No. Have you ever had a horrible person believe in you? Do you know that feeling like of a shithead fuck just being like, you can be like, you're gonna be just fine. I have seen you steal dogs. It is bizarre to connect with someone like that. And I'll tell you why. When I left Texas, I moved to Portland, Oregon, and my first place in Portland was, it was $100 a month. Yeah. So you know it's nice. And what it was the top floor of an old craftsman's house. And there were 4 bedrooms, and each bedroom got like a mattress on the floor and a hot plate and a deadbolt. And they were like, this is now an apartment. And you're like, well, it is certainly not a home. No kitchen, and you would share your toilet with your neighbors. Like, they weren't roommates. I want to be clear, they weren't roommates. I took my own toilet paper to the bathroom every morning, and then I took it back out. Otherwise, my neighbor Ron would steal it, right? And there were 4 of us there, right? And you have not met a collection of men trying to hit bottom and then constantly being one-upped by the guy next to them. Like, my best neighbor was this guy named Scott who never wore pants, and I saw his dick every day. That was my best neighbor. That guy fucked up the curve for the rest of the class. Yeah. Another one was a disbarred attorney from Oklahoma. And I asked him once, I was like, hey man, how'd you get disbarred? And he just goes, well, I thought I was in international waters. That sounds like a story. And the third guy was a truck driver from Queens named Ron. And what you need to know about Ron is this. One, he knew that I was from Texas, but he never bothered to learn my name. So he would just call me different cities in Texas. Like, I'd be leaving for work and he'd just go, I'll see you around, Apache Junction. So specific. The other thing you need to know about Ron is that he had a real proclivity for women of a certain persuasion. A lady of the night. Prostitutes. He would call them toots. And that almost made it seem okay. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go out and get a couple toots. I was like, I bet you are, Ron. You old rootin' tootin' son of a bitch. Your sex crime sounds like a fun pancake. So, it's New Year's Eve, and it's my first New Year's not in Texas, and I love New Year's. It's like my favorite holiday because I love knowing I'm not going to complete whatever I told myself I would. I don't have to be disappointed. You can just accept it. But it's New Year's Eve, and I'll be honest, the attorney and I, we're just in my room, and we're doing coke and watching the countdown. Just fucking like, Avril Lavigne is killing it. I'll be your little skater boy, yeah. Give me some more of that booger sugar. And Ron is celebrating how you think he might, with a toot. And we hear him, and it's gross. And we hear him finish, and that is so much worse. And it's right before midnight, and the attorney and I are just like chilling out, having a drink, you know, and just being like, what's your resolution? Mine's to get clean. And right before midnight, we hear this woman just start going, you a loser, motherfucker, and you always gonna be a loser, motherfucker. 10, 9. Well, this loser just came on your face. 8, 7. And it goes back and forth like this until finally we hear Ron go, woman, what you gonna do with that? And then we hear Ron go, ha! And then we go, Happy New Year! And then there's a thud. It's just a room next to another room. You understand? There's no sense of safety. It's just, so the attorney and I are just looking at each other like, and he goes, what do we do? And I was like, That's a thing you should know. And he goes, go to the door. And I was like, yeah. And I go to the door. I was like, just let me do all this evidence. And I go to the door, and it's like, I open it, and it's a shared hallway, and it couldn't be much longer than this stage, if as long. And I see Ron walk into his door frame. Door is open. Profile view. He's in his tidy whities, his manny panties. And he turns, and there is a barbecue fork sticking out of his stomach, blood running down the side, staining his underwear red. He looked like a Walmart customer wrapped in a Target bag. And he just looks at me and goes, El Paso, call the cops. That guy believed in me. Thank you guys very much. Dream come true. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys were great. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next. Thank you so much. All right, we'll see you. Thank you very much.
To die old, but it's too late now. My heart has grown so cold, and the corpse I leave behind ain't gonna be no pretty boy, just a sick sack of disease.
I'm the machine!